What is up? And if you saw my interview with Tony Gosling and talking about the state of affairs today, we were talking about real issues as opposed to what I had to discuss in the Hillary Clinton video I did. Gosling really thinks that Brexit is going to happen, that these guys are somehow going to make their way out of the European Union, doesn't know what the repercussions are going to be, thinks there's going to be stall techniques, real geopolitical stuff, right? And now we're having conversations, at least in the mainstream, that this CIA whistleblower, somebody who, in my opinion, probably did commit treason, right? Probably did commit treason, is fearing for his life. He fears for his life. He's not even a serious whistleblower. He's talking about a third-hand conversation. And for me, that doesn't constitute the guy should be fearing for his life. And if you watched my video earlier today with Jake Tapper especially, Tapper probably lied 99% of it. Guy's got a TV show, got a nice house, nice car, good job. And people actually trust what he has to say. It's a weird thing. Meanwhile, Giuliani, who's not a great guy, who's somebody I'm not a big fan of. Sorry, I got some dog-on-dog action going here. How you doing, buddy? Easy, girl. Easy. Come on. Nope. We're back over here. Anyway, you got somebody who is a complete liar, a fraud, a terrible person. I mean, he's a lawyer, so right there, that constitutes high-level liar. He was a prosecutor in New York that turned that into being the mayor of New York City. And Karma, please stop. The real deal on that was that he tried to make it into a presidential campaign. Thank God that failed. Thank God that failed. But when he was talking about Joe Biden and corruption today, again, we're living in the upside down, right? The Ukrainian treason in the upside down. He was reading from a sworn affidavit that's been around for 6 months from the prosecutor that was actually fired in this incident, saying under oath that he was fired because of his investigation into Joe Biden's son's company. It's that simple. I mean, what else do you want to hear? What else needs to be said? Why are we pretending that the front runner for the Democrats, somebody who's been an establishment politician, by the way, for, 3-4 decades now, probably 4 decades, close to 4 decades, at least in the public eye, somebody I have an invisible empire, promoting globalism, promoting a new world order. In fact, he wrote an article back in the days of the first Bush regime called How I Learned to Love the New World Order. He also, by the way, is on tape talking about aid to Israel, right? Now, it's really an interesting tape because when he's talking about the aid to Israel, he's talking about the $3 billion we give a year. We give much more than $3 billion these days, right? But he says, look, that's in our best interest. Why? Because if Israel didn't exist, we'd have to create an Israel. Actually, a pretty honest statement. He realizes that is one of our main military tools in that region. Whether people want to own up to that or not is another thing. Everybody thinks that it's just a simple control game. I promise you things go a lot deeper. I mean, if you look at the region, for instance, right? And you look at where it is strategically, militarily, look, the neocons that are in power in this country, and I guess they're neoliberals at this point. I don't even know what they are other than globalists. I think it's kind of a blanket term. And hopefully I'm going to have Robbie Martin on later of Media Roots to dissect all this. It's exactly what they want. They want quagmires in the Middle East. They want more of a presence there. They don't care about the economic repercussions or the social repercussions for normal people. In fact, when you think about the normal people overseas, they don't care if they die. Do you ever think about that? Is that ever brought up? No. Instead, we're talking about treason over a phone call. And here's the thing. I mean, what do you do here? You got guys like Krugman, for instance. tweeting out that this is going to end in the administration in cuffs in jail or a bunch of journalists in jail as well. That's all nonsense. First of all, let's say this president could clean up the deep state. Never going to happen, right? What journalist would you put in jail? Who constitutes a journalist that is on the route to jail? I don't see one. I mean, I'd love for some of these people who are part of Operation Mockingbird type operations to be outed and go to jail, but is that plausible? Is that something that we're going to see? No. The guy couldn't show you Kennedy documents from 50 years ago that he promised you, right? Exactly. I see RFK Jr. in there. I did a video on when RFK Jr. recently did say that the man that actually killed his father not only was not Sirhan Sirhan, but had recently died, and pointed out his Central Intelligence Agency connections. That's barely a blip in the media. That's barely a blip in the news. I know that this presidential administration didn't pick up on it. They didn't make a comment on it. They didn't say, you know what? RFK Jr. is exposing the deep state about his father. Maybe we should jump in there and start talking about it as well. That wasn't done. Oh, there's that dog again. More dog action. See, when you're crossing paths, when you're doing these short little walk and talks and not the park walks because it's raining out, there could be some big dog interactions. Oh, so I don't know, man. I would like to, I feel like once this CIA agent is outed, and they will be outed, by the way, we're just going to get another Peter Strzok situation where you've got this minion of the establishment up there playing the victim, and a bunch of people buying into the fact that he is or she is, in fact, the victim. The people that won't look more than what Jake Tapper and his cronies in the Mockingbird media say, well, they'll think that Trump is still, a racist Nazi devil that needs to be taken out because he's colluding with Russia and the Ukraine now. He's a foreign agent, after all. He's a foreign puppet and agent. I mean, it's clown world. It really is. 52 watching, 18 thumbs up. Guys, can we get the thumbs up? Can we get the shares? If you haven't seen my videos from the day that I referenced earlier, that interview with Tony Gosling is extremely important because I think that for the most part, a lot of us, and it's the majority of my audience here in the United States, don't think about the policy that's going on in the UK and Britain. Don't think enough about globalization and the European Union. And it's great to have somebody with a little insight shine the light on that. And we talked about Hillary Clinton in relation to that Ukrainian scandal today, in the sense that, everybody's talking about, well, is Hillary going to run? Is she going to make a run for it? Well, who cares? And two, why aren't we focusing on the fact that she absolved Biden of being on camera a multitude of times, uncomfortably touching young girls and women? That's not an issue. I mean, you look at the double standards out here. And guys, again, I'm no Trump trainer, but let's look at Biden in particular. If there were any types of pictures or video of what he's done in the sense of the other guy, it'd be all over the media. The same thing like Trudeau, right? Trudeau, this virtue signaling, globalist, leftist puppet who, I don't want free speech. You can't misgender people. You'll go to jail. Hate speech laws, everything else. Acts like he's the least racist person in the world. Is caught multiple times in blackface. Not only just blackface, but stuffing his pants. So, yeah, you get to decide, guys. Karma says hello. Say hello, Karma. We are approaching the homestead, so make sure, look at this. We got some barking dogs. So make sure you thumbs this video up, you share it with others, you join the Burmese Brigade. Hopefully I'm going to be doing an hour-long Ask Me Anything broadcast later today. We will see if that happens. Not 100%, but I'm going to try. I'm about to go head to the gym after this and try to work off the fat and whatnot. Come on, Carm.